About that scrimmage, just what you guys were able to accomplish.
It's good work. Good to get the work and a lot to improve. I think the guys know that. We know that. So I'm excited to dig into the tape and see what we can work on.
How concerning would it be that, just having all the drops on it, the picks and the disjointedness, like how concerning would that be moving forward, or it's just this one scrimmage?
It's one piece of many things that we're working on trying to improve, whether it's fundamentals, communication, just simple execution of plays here and there, alignment, assignment, all of those details are important. So we're trying to improve everything, not just a drop here or there.
Is the offensive line still a work in progress? I mean, I think you used 6 different left tackles or right tackles in there. Is it still piecemealing this thing together?
I don't know that I would frame it necessarily as piecemealing. I think one of the questions you guys asked last week was about the flexibility of the offensive line. I'd probably still look at it like that. We have had some injuries, guys go in and out, even temporary injuries where guys miss a drive, and those have been opportunities for other guys to step up and play different positions. So you probably see out there today, we have multiple guys play on different sides, play guard, play tackle, inside, outside, different centers. So it's great that those guys have the ability to do that, and we have the chance to get that type of work.
So is there a point, though, with the season 3 weeks away, is there a point where you want to get the 5 solidified and let them work together?
Absolutely, I think so, but I think at the same time you recognize that over the course of the year, it's very rare nowadays for the 5 same starters to play every single play for an entire season. So this work to get guys working with each other that might not always work together on week 1 or week 2 is invaluable to have right now.
How would you evaluate Nate and kind of how he's come along in camp?
I think the growth has been encouraging and a testament to his work, Coach Morton's work with him, and really all of the running backs, their ability to improve, whether it's in the run game as runners, in the pass protection game, or as pass catchers. The entire room, all those guys have really embraced all facets of that position and what we're asking them to do. So between him, TJ, Tank, Quinton, all of those guys have been awesome to work with, a lot of fun to work with, and it's great to see the improvement kind of day over day.
What have you seen from Trevor just over the last few weeks, and obviously during the preseason game as well?
I think you see that growth in terms of the mastery of the offense. We talked about it a little bit at the very beginning of training camp and even a little bit in the spring. I think you see that starting to click. Now, there are still things around him that can improve, and there are still areas that he can improve, and he knows that. But each day in a different setting or a different play, you see one little thing or 2 little things, or sometimes it's a lot of things that come together where you see that improvement in terms of that mastery of his role.
If you could just pick one thing that he's really improved on greatly over the last few weeks, what would that be?
It's hard to pick just one. I try to count all the things that he improved on and
Sure.
appreciate all of them. So I don't know that I would just pick one, but I think when we look at the operation of the offense and his control of the line of scrimmage, the cadence, some of those things that we still are working to improve as a unit, but his personal growth is evident in that stuff, the footwork, some of the reads, playing fast, completion. So there's a lot of things that they see. It makes it tough to pick one.
This footwork stuff you guys gave him to work on, do you see him, I guess, missing that less? You know what I mean? Like not doing it less and less as camp goes on, not making mistakes.
I would say he's improved, and he will probably continue to improve. I mean, that's our goal. There really is no point where you take your foot off the gas on that stuff. You're always building the fundamentals even throughout the season. Now, the time you can allocate towards that shrinks as the season continues, but he's improved, and the goal is that he continues to improve throughout the year.
It seems like LeQuint's kind of stood out in pass pro. Is it rare for a rookie to just come in and be able to handle that responsibility right away?
I think it kind of depends on the guy, but like I mentioned, he's done a great job of learning the system, his willingness to go in there and pass protect in a bunch of difficult situations. The defense throws a lot at those guys, not just from a mental standpoint, but physically. They're asked to do a lot of different things when it comes to picking up twists or getting up in the A-gap and taking on a back or defensive end at times. But all of those guys, whether it's him or the rest of the room, have really embraced that role because we're asking them to do things that maybe they haven't done before, play techniques that they haven't done before.
What do you like about Tank Bigsby?
There's a lot to like about Tank. I think you see the style of runner he is, and it almost pops out at times on tape with the physicality and his ability to take one cut and really attack lanes or holes depending on the run scheme it is. I think his explosiveness in the run game, and hopefully that's something that we can say about all the running backs, whether it's him, Tootin, Quint, or TJ, all of those guys have that ability to take a 2-yard run, 3-yard run, into 5-yard run, 10-yard run, explosive run beyond that, with their ability to break tackles or accelerate open space.
Brian Thomas's frustration is pretty evident. There was much watching. Is that at a concern level for you? Where is the concern level?
I don't know that I would list it like that. I think that he holds himself to a high standard, which we appreciate. And when he doesn't play to the standard that he holds himself to, sometimes that comes out in frustration. But this is what practice is about. You're trying to improve on things. You're trying to put yourself in challenging situations. If you're going out there and just succeeding at everything every single day, you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. So we expect there to be some element of frustration with every position, whether it's a receiver, whether it's an offensive line, whether it's mentally or physically. Most guys are going to be in a situation at some point throughout the course of a practice, throughout the course of a training camp, where they probably push themselves maybe beyond their limits, or maybe they just don't perform to their standard. So I think that frustration for all of us, coaches, players included, becomes a part of the process of growth, whatever we're doing.
I would assume you want them to stop slamming the helmet down. Right, kicking a football. I mean, like, maybe
Yeah.
not like bury the frustration, but
Yeah.
maybe release it a little more constructively.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we would love to see. I think the equipment guys are more concerned about that portion of it than me in terms of the helmets. But yeah, there's a way we handle things, and we want to have kind of a what now mindset in terms of being able to learn from things and move on and be in the present. So we're all working on that. None of us are perfect at it.
When you see a guy like Parker Washington just make big plays throughout the entire course of a camp, how much confidence does that give in you on game day that he can translate it from practice to the game?
I mentioned it last time. I think that when you see a guy execute something consistently in practice, it gives you the confidence that he can go out there in the game situation. Now, the practice setting is a little different than a game, but like I just mentioned previously, we're trying to put these guys in challenging positions. And for him to go out and execute those things in the most challenging positions when he's tired in the heat gives you the confidence, whether it's him or anybody, to go out and do those things on game day.